Hello, welcome to day 10 of 100 Grammar with Mariia. Today, you can notice that we work with nouns, but today is something different. We are not going to speak about singular forms and plural forms and how you make these plural forms. Here you have these main rules. Sometimes you add addings, s, es, sometimes en. Sometimes you have the same word when you use two different forms of this word, and sometimes you have to change the word. So we talked about these rules. We've reminded them a few times, so hopefully you remember these rules. But today we are going to speak about the nouns which are used only in singular. I hope you remember that singular means single, one, only in singular. And there was this rule that we keep repeating singular s. In the present indefinite tense form or present simple form, you have to add s at the end of the verb. So here I have written this rule to remind you. Verb, you have s at the end. But these nouns do not have any plural form. So in that case, we cannot use this indefinite article a with them. So no a. For example, we say a boy, but if we say use, we cannot say an use. You see, so there is something special about these words, about these nouns. So let's start with our quote. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. We have this word use, it's a noun. Here we have this word use, a noun, and the pilot, noun. So when we talked about nouns earlier, I mentioned that we speak about simple nouns. So not complicated, not easy to understand and find. For example, this whiteboard marker, a boy, a girl, a whiteboard, and so on. Or a pilot in this case. So simple nouns, you have both forms, singular and plural, very simple. Today we work with these nouns. So nouns which have only singular form, first of all, we cannot use a or an, this indefinite article, with them. We always use only this personal pronoun as it. Instead of saying the word, I could say it. We have always s at the end if we use the present indefinite tense form in the sentence when we use this word. And we use this pronoun as well, much, not many. So many is not allowed to use in this case with these nouns which are only in singular form. So I can say much love, but many boys. Simple words, we can say many, but these words we say only much or a lot of, but not many. So what are these nouns? So I speak about them and speak about them. What are these groups of nouns? So first of all, we have nouns which are abstract. Abstract nouns, when I say abstract noun, I mean that you cannot see this noun or touch this noun, but you understand it. So let's say this understanding comes from your brain, from your head. So you understand when I say love. You understand this is the feeling and so on, but you cannot touch love. So these abstract nouns, let's say you understand them with your consciousness, you understand, but you cannot touch or see them. You notice I have written feelings as well. I've mentioned love, like love, hate, sorrow, joy. So different feelings you feel, always singular. So love, you notice, is blind, singular. Another group of nouns which is part of this only singular form nouns is nouns which have no shape nor limit. So you understand that you can see them, you can touch them, but you do not understand where it ends. let's say when we speak about the weather, let's say rain. You see rain, you feel rain, but you do not know how much rain. You cannot say that. But you can add other words which describe how much rain is there. So we'll talk about it in another video. So when you speak about the weather, for example, rain, snow, and so on, always in singular, these words. When you speak about food and drinks, just in general, let's say bread. In general, not a bread, just bread. Milk, I don't drink milk. In general, I say that, and I use only milk, only this word. So these are the words, part of this group, nouns only in singular. Another group of nouns is nouns which, again, you can see, you can feel, you can sometimes each of them you can count, but when you speak about them as one thing, as one entity, so all together, everything grouped together, and you describe it with one word, in that case, this word will be always in singular. The example of this is the word grandma. I always use this word, grandma. What is it? So in fact, grandma consists of different rules. So I say rules, we can count, this is simple. But all these rules together is one word. I described it with one word, grandma. This word is in singular. But you do not confuse that with people when you speak about people, because a group of people, there will be something else. So not when you speak about people. So only objects, only things, but not people. When you describe as one word, singular, only in singular noun, doesn't have any plural form. And the last part here, the group of nouns which end in X. You hear these words very often, especially if you go to school. You have these subjects as mathematics, physics. These words end in X, but this word means singular. So think all knowledge which is connected to that subject, you have this subject. So mathematics, physics. We have some other words as politics, aerobics. So remember, these words, even when you see this at the end, it's not a plural form. It's only part of the word. So you see 4 groups of nouns. Those abstract nouns, you understand them, but you cannot touch or feel them or see them. You have nouns which do not have shape nor limits. For example, when you speak about weather and the word weather itself, food and drinks. Groups of things, objects, but not people, and you describe it with one word, one entity, one word, and words which end in X, always in singular. How can you remember these rules? Now you're confused, I'm sure. So what can we do? As always, we can make a sentence. And I have picked some words which will help you to remember these different groups of words. So let's read these words. Can you help me?
Waiter.
Weather, yep.
Bread. Milk. Hate.
Very good.
Music. Help. Advice. Money. Language.
Luggage.
Luggage.
Look, we have, how many words do we have? 4 and 2, 6, 9 words. These words are part of these groups. Now, how do we make a sentence? Let's see. The weather is too bad to eat bread or drink milk. I hate it. Now you see we have these nouns, no shape, no limit. You have feelings, abstract noun, hate. You have the weather. When you speak about all different weather phenomena altogether. Then we continue. No music to listen. No help to get from. My advice is have always money on you and no luggage. It's easier to travel this way. So again, we have this story about traveling. The weather is bad. It's too bad to eat bread or drink milk. I hate it. There is no music to listen to, no help to get from. My advice is have always money on you and no luggage when you travel. You can make your own sentence using some other words. The only thing that matters is that you remember that these words are always in singular form. You cannot make any plural form of these words. You never use many words, you use much. And you do not use any an, these articles, with these words. Thank you for today. See you next time. Goodbye.